Shalom, shalom. Got to get into it here, bro. Give me a couple minutes here. We're gonna get into this lesson. I don't get stormed on, you know. I have to pack it up and move. But let me get it in while I can, you know. While the getting is good. So I just had my lesson. Go ahead and get started. Before I get started, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash, and Shalom to the elect. You know, we're gonna get into it because hey, we at the end of this thing, man. We're at the end of Esau, Edom, so-called white man's rulership. You know, you got the Iran war going on, gas prices all through the fucking roof right now, crude oil going up, shortages, and it's nothing but the end time going on. Nothing but. And now you got this damn hantavirus. You know, so it's nothing beautiful times, man. And we've been speaking about this 40 plus years, man. Me, myself, personally, 8+ years. But the apostles been speaking about this 40 plus years that this day was gonna come. And lo and behold, it's him. Like I said, we don't get many scoffers like we used to. You know, because they see it's a rep and everything we've been saying all through the spirit, of course, all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah that hey, we was able to preach this and bring this out, man. You know, we didn't come up with this. There's no way I could have came up with this on my own, man. No way. There's no way I could have been able to break the scriptures down without the spirit. You know, because you know, when I was growing up, you know, I read the Bible backwards and forward, man. Didn't understand about 60%, 70% of it. But now, all through the spirit, you know, I can go through it and break it down, man. You know, which was taught by my elders and apostles, man. You know, so let's start off with Sirach 5 and 7. This is Sirach 5 and 7. Make no, this is Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Most High and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So yeah, make no tarry to turn to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. As you see now, there's a new plague, a new pestilence in the earth, known as the hantavirus, man. You know, some people died off of this thing already, supposedly. You know how that goes. But we're gonna say, you know, for face value, man. Hey, some people have died already. So this is the time. I don't know whether it was Jake or not. They could have been Jake. Who knows? Coming out of you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. But for the ones that you do know that you're Jake, You know, it's our time for you to wake out of sleep, man, and start getting this work in. You know, it's about time you stop fucking off, start working for your Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Because suddenly your ass could be destroyed. You know, suddenly you could be here today, gone today, man. You know, who's to say what this virus is gonna bring this time, man? Like Bill Gates said, you know, roughly paraphrasing that this virus, you know, is sure to get your attention this time. You know? So old Bill Gates is back on the prowl again, man. He released a new virus, him and Dr. Fauci, and they're ready to go for COVID 3.0, man. You know, lockdowns, maybe forced vaccinations, forced lockdowns, you know? Same old play, new virus. But hey, as far as the elect, man, you know, we ain't worried about it. We know Esau Edom, so-called white man, runs the same play over and over and over and over. And now, does he get a little bit more vicious when he runs it? Yeah. You know, because he did some studying on that last lockdown. And, you know, and he did he took some notes, man, on what he need to do on this next one. Take more of your rights away. You know, you want to take more of the rights away of the people. So this man's a tyrant, man. You know, I'm talking about the wicked elite. You know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the bankers, things of that sort, and other people that work under them, they underlings. You know, that this man, hey, the scripture said he's a merchant. He loves to oppress. Hosea 12:7. Which is true. He's a merchant. He loves to oppress. You know, and his new form of oppression is coming up in a virus, man. They're saying what, maybe about a month or two, this thing ought to burn itself out. But who's to say what he's gonna do, man? He might have your ass get the RFID microchip implanted in you. You know, he might taunt that. Who knows? You know, who knows? We could be out of here in 3 to 6 months, man. When I'm talking about I'm talking about the elect, man. We could be out of here in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, getting the kingdom of heaven established in 3 to 6 months. You know, time is short. This ain't the time to be fucking off, man. This ain't the time to be worrying about what you gonna get your damn mammy for Mother's Day, man. This is the time to start getting serious. How about Shimya Washah? You know, because everybody thought they was in a safe state for a while, you know. No more corona. Let's say no more, what they call that beer? Coronas. You know, no more coronas. You know, I'm trying to throw YouTube off, man. No, but lo and behold, it's back. It's back, man. It just has a new name. And they saying the mortality rate is higher this time. Hey, all praises to you. How about Shem Yahushua? All praises. It just lets me know he's getting closer and closer to getting back. You know, I don't care what the death rate is, the mortality rate. You know, let the Most High will be done, man. Because he even said in the scriptures where, hey, well, some of you niggas gonna die by the pestilence, the sword, the famine, things of that sort. You know, said perils. So it is what it is, man. Why ain't this shit coming up? Okay. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs. You know, I was such in a hurry, I forgot to connect my phone, my tablet to the phone. This is Proverbs 27:1. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. So yeah, you can't be proud and say you're gonna do this and do that tomorrow, because you really don't know. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You know, even for the man of the Lord, we or the elect, we all say, man, Lord willing. No, we come to a conclusion that we're not in control of what's going on in the earth or with ourselves. Man. At that at that matter, man, we know we're not in control of ourselves completely, man. You know, there's been plenty of times where I should have went right, but I went left instead. You know, and the Lord was like, "Hey, you know, you gotta go the other way, man." You know, somebody else made a Yui, you know, but yeah, I see them. I seen them. You know, or you beat yourself up, be like, oh, if I would have been just 10 minutes earlier, or I've been 10 minutes later, but the most I had it planned already, man. You know, he had your day mapped out on what you was gonna do, man, before you even thought about it. You know, and you know, I you'd be like, oh, I should have been there 10 minutes earlier. You know, or Jerome wouldn't have got shot and killed, or I've been there 10 minutes later. Keisha wouldn't have been in that situation. But nah, it ain't up to you, man. It's the Most High. He controls, man. He's the ultimate puppet master. He puts you where he needs you to be at that moment. You know, your day is planned out for you already. You know, it speaks about that in Job 30, 33. Well, he's sealing your instructions, man. Why you sleep? You know, the most I got your ass in a trick bag, man. You know, and that goes for the elect also, man. He got us all figured out. You know, he knows exactly where we need to be at that exact moment. So, this is boast not thyself of tomorrow, because you always hear Jake, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans always talking about, oh, what I'm gonna do tomorrow. You know, let's get up tomorrow and do something. You know, or next month I'm gonna be at this such and such point. You can't say that. You can't proudly say that, because there's a lot of people who thought that same thought, and they asked them wake up this morning. You know, they had plans for the next day, but it wasn't up to them though. Man. It's not up to you whether you gonna get up, you know, the next day. You know, it's all up to the Most High, man. You know, you saw Edom, so-called white man. You're like, oh, your life expectancy chart. You know, you're gonna live to such and such age, as long as you know, take your vitamins and you know, do modest exercise and all this kind of shit. You know, which you know he's proud anyway. You know, but there's plenty of people who died way before they life expectancy, man. People dying every day, no matter what age. So, especially as a man of the Lord, you can't be proud and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go out there tomorrow, you know, and bring that word out." You know, you always got to keep in mind, which we do. You know, a true man of the Lord gonna say, "Hey, Lord willing, tomorrow." Let's jump down to verse 12. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So a prudent man foreseeth the evil." So I've been seeing the evil, you know. So I've been hiding myself in this truth, in these scriptures, man. You know, I've been told that the war with Iran was coming for 8+ years, man. You know, the apostles been saying it for 40+ years that this war with Iran was coming, and which is going to ultimately lead to World War III. You know, so once I started hearing that, and that the RFID microchip was the mark of the beast, I said, man, it's time for me to jump down with the Most High, man, with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because what I'm doing, what I was doing at that moment, wasn't working. You know, I know it was something. I'm like, I even said it, Jake, because you get caught up in that bull with the world, thinking you got control of the situations, think you can outwit and outthink the Most High. You know, because I was trying to open this business one time. I kept running into all kind of roadblocks, man. You know, some with the engineer, he was taking forever with the drawings. Get the drawings. Taking forever with the inspection. Inspector find something. You know, I got to pay more money to fix this, fix that. You know, I just kept running into roadblock after roadblock. I'm like, it just hit me. I'm like, man, the Most High must don't want me to do this. You know, this was I was in the world. You know, I even had sense then. I'm like, you can tell when some was going against it, and it was clear that the Most High was shutting all my plans down, man. You know, this was like 20 some years ago, you know, at least maybe 15, maybe 12, 15, around that range, you know. And I was like, it's got to be the Most High, man. And, you know, and fast forward to the day, that's all who it was, man, because he had other plans for me. You know, I thought I was going to be this business owner, you know, open this one business, get 2, 3 other businesses, you know. You know, I had all the plans in the world, you know. You know, I had my money stacked up right, you know, had a few connections, you know, had a little bit of brains, a little bit at the time, not much, you know. But the Most High knocked all that shit down, man. It was a grand opening and a grand closing all at the same time. You know, so after then, you know, once that got shut down, I'm like, well, let me try another route. You know, that never panned out. You know, matter of fact, what 3, 4 years later, I tried something else. You know, got another little business going. Hit the brick wall with that one. You know, I actually got that one off the ground though. You know, but I couldn't get paid for some reason. This fucking devil, you know, was messing up my payments. You know? So he coded my paperwork all wrong or some shit, you know? And so, hey, if I can't get no money coming in, I gotta shut down. So I shut down, man. So Jake come up here and try to scoff, like, oh, you niggas ain't got no money. You niggas ain't. Hey, believe me, I done been there, done that, and tried that, man. You know? But the most I got other things for me to do. You know, he want me to put this truth first. And that's what I'm doing, man. I put this truth first. Once I got the realization that, hey, that's what I need to be doing, is putting this work in. And it's been on ever since, man. You know, there's one thing I haven't let go, man. Even the days when I don't want to do this, I do it. Them days you just don't feel like doing nothing, I still come out. If I ain't feeling good, I come out. You know, it was time I could fucking get sick. My damn woman come on with them damn colds and shit. I catch a cold, I be out here fucking still on the block, man. Still out here doing my thing, bro. I'm still gonna be out here pushing this truth, man. I'm still gonna be out here pushing this work, you know? That's just what it is, man. We'll be out here on these highways and byways, Lord willing, still doing this, man. And until I get the word to get off the block. I think that was OC right there. Yeah, nigga, this ain't no, like you saying, I do this. I do this, man. You know, So hey, folks not on tomorrow, man. Because guess what? You got to keep in mind that the Most High is still upset with you, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You broke the covenant. You said you was gonna keep His law, statutes, and commandments, and His ordinances and His laws, and you niggas like, you know what? We ain't gonna do it. We in America. We out of Egypt. We ain't got to do nothing now. But the Lord say, whoa, wait a minute. He still got the contract. He still has the contract on us, man. So your ass can't be boastful, man, and be proud. Because, hey, when it boils down to it, you owe the Most High a whole lot, man. You turned your back on your How about Shimei Awashah. You're a bunch of no good traitors, man. Infidels, if you will. You niggas decided to do your own thing, man. You decided to do whatever hell you want to do. So that's when Yahweh Shimei Awashah judge y'all. And you're gonna say, oh Lord, why? Niggas screaming, always want to ask why. But never thinking about all the wickedness he had done and the wickedness he's still doing to this day, man. You've been going to these Christian churches so long that pastor got you fooled that, hey, that under the law, man. If under the law, you can do whatever you want to. Just keep paying him money every week. And you don't take into account that, hey, the Most High is judging you, man. And hey, there are some jakes, they know that the Most High is judging them, but they still wicked. A nigga is still immersed in wickedness, man. Let's go to Psalm 7 and 11. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. So you got to keep that in mind. The Most High is wicked with the angry with the wicked every day. So you can't be boastful, man. Because 9 times out of 10, you're doing something wicked the next day or the same day. So you can't be, thinking everything's sweet, like they say. You can't be thinking shit is sweet. Because, hey, when somebody angry at you, man, they're liable to kill you, man. And the Most High is like that. he will kill your ass, man. I got plenty of precepts to prove it, man. You know, he ain't sitting up there in the heavens like a damn teddy bear, like how the church like to paint him, like he's some big teddy bear. You can do whatever you want to. He don't mind. You know, his son is up there just smiling at everything you do. No, it ain't that type of party. I just read where it said the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. You know, so he ain't all love like the church try to tell you. Oh, he just loves, love, love. He just has one emotion, just love. But you, as a human, you got all these different kinds of emotions. But the one that created you only got one. What sense that make? Tell me, how does that make sense, man? You know? But you know, Jake, our people, the so-called Negro Latinos or Native Americans, they like to learn the hard way. And the most I don't have a problem with giving you it the easy way or the hard way, man. And as for me, I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way, man, until I realized, hey, I'm fucking up. You know, or I had fucked up, you know, big time. You know, once the most I bring you down to a very, very low point in your life, like they say, that sunken place. Once I reached that sunken place, I knew I had fucked up, you know, and I needed some help. I knew that was the most I telling me, hey, it's time to get on board, you know. And even then, I still kind of hesitant, you know. So I always bring out that video with, you know, this one guy. I call him guy, you know. At the time, he was a brother, supposedly anyway. And he was making that video, man. And now you sitting in church and you think the pastor talking to you. Well, you know, Jake made a video, and I could have sworn he was talking to me in that video, man. You know, it was like you just felt it in your spirit. I'm like, this nigga talking to me, man. And ever since that, I was scared to death, man. Now I came running to do the work, man. You know, I was running to do the work, do the will of the Most High, man. You know, I was shaking in my boots, like they say. And that's what a true man of the Lord supposed to do. He's supposed to persuade you, you know, of the terror of the Lord, man. You know, and I was fully persuaded, you know. Like scripture, you gotta be fully persuaded in your own mind. And two, you gotta be motivated by fear, man. The Most High wants you to fear him, man. He ain't with all that love shit, man. Start off with fearing him first. Then he'll get to the love stuff. You know? And once I got that order down, you know, everything ain't been good, you know. Everything it ain't been you know, every day ain't been good. Now don't get that right. No, don't get that twisted. We ain't gonna have perfect days every day, man. Even in this truth. Even throughout this walk, man. Every day is not gonna be peachy, man. You know, you're gonna hit bumps in the road too, man. You're gonna have setbacks too, man. But for the elect, or hopefully elect, it's all to test you, man. It's all to you know, tune you up, fine tune you up, man. To make sure that you really want to do this. Or you really got the faith like you claim you know, like you claim. You know, you because Jake could get on here on these cameras and these videos put up a front. But the whole time they faith is weak. You know, a situation come up, you chicken out, you know, you boo-hooing, you crying, you know. you know, and some men leave the truth because they can't take it. Now, can you bug out? Yeah, you can bug out. But the thing is, you got to get back on that saddle, man. You got to pick that cross back up, and you got to keep on moving, man. You know, you got to carry your own cross in this walk. You know, a brother can't carry it for you. You know, sometimes the cross fall off your shoulder or it slips off, or sometimes hey, you feel like you can't pick it up. But hey, you got to grab that motherfucker, man, and you got to go with it. You know, you got to get it back on your shoulder some kind of way, man. You know, and keep your hand on that plow, that spiritual plow, and keep pushing and doing this work because this is all we got right now, man. This work is all I got right now. You know, this is the only thing gonna get me out of here. You know, all my little crypto's not gonna get me out of here. You know, all the little stuff I done learned over the years, not gonna get me out of here. Only thing's gonna get me out of here is keeping the faith, doing the work, man. You know, that's my only ticket out of here. So I got to keep doing this because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. This is Sirach 12:6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. For the Most High hateth sinners, man. You know, and you don't have to break that down. That's plain. That's plain that the Most High hateth sinners, man. You know, like the scripture say, Most High have not gave you a license to sin. So who told you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that you can just do whatever the hell you want to do in life? You can eat whatever you want to eat, you know, lay down whatever you want to lay down with, you know? You can conduct yourself any kind of way you want. Who told you that, man? You know? You know, but you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, you fall away. Like I say, you are your father, the devil, man. You just like him. Whatever you saw either want to do, you right behind him. You know, so-called white man want to start playing basketball. You niggas want to play basketball. So-called white man wants to play football. You niggas want to play football. You niggas that move to golf, move to hockey, NASCAR. Wherever the so-called white man go, you niggas want to follow, man. You know, a bunch of fucking tag-alongs. When it comes to doing this work, can't find y'all nowhere. You know, a nigga spend his whole life training to run up and down the so-called white man football field or basketball court. But when it comes to doing this work for the Most High, how about Shimei Shah? Can't find one, man. You know? You know, but he's not, or or he ain't ashamed to go on a world tour saying nigga this, nigga that, you know, but won't come out here and preach the word though. You know? You know, nigga don't all right. Nigga don't have a problem going all across the world saying niggas. But you can't catch him saying cracker, devil, and nothing like that, you know? But scared to death to do this though. You know? That's why the Lord is gonna come visit you niggas, man. He is coming to visit the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Make no mistake about that, man. Hey, he already visiting you now, man. You know, when they send little Pookie and Tyrone in the hood, spray you niggas up. The Lord sent them over there, man, to do that. But ultimately, when Jacob's trouble hit, the Most High is gonna send the so-called white man down on all y'all, man. The 2/3. He's gonna send the 2/3. You know, he's gonna put the so-called white man, y'all daddy, on y'all, man, to give y'all one good whipping, man. You know, because I don't know if you been reading the comment section in YouTube, man. These so-called white people got fatigue, man. They got black fatigue. Oh shit. You know, they tired of you niggas, man. You know, they ready for the National Guard or the troops, man, to put you niggas in the grave, man. You know? But you know, like I was saying though, a nigga can run up and down the field all day long, but you can't get a nigga to do this work though, man. Preach this work, preach this word out here. You know? You know, but you see these niggas on tour, man. These supposedly rappers. You know, they can go, like I said, they can go all over the world, all over the country. Nigga this, nigga that. Not once do you hear them niggas say something about the so-called white man. Nothing. Fucking crickets, man. Absolute crickets, man. Hey, like I said, man, in John 8:44, ye are your father, ye are your father the devil. So why would they talk about their father, I guess, huh? Why would they talk about somebody they love? 'Cause you niggas love Esau Edom, so-called white man draws, man. You hear me? Love is draws. His dirty draws. What was that? Verse 6. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 12:6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance to the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. So he has a day of punishment for you wicked Israelites, man. You know, like I said, he might send Pookie in your neighborhood and spin the block on you. You know, or he might just have you end up in a car crash, man, where you get caught in between fucking 2 18 wheelers or something. You know, and you like a damn sardine can. No? Or you might end up like that one Jake, just walk across the freeway and get hit by some cars, man. Who knows what the Most High got in store for you, man? I mean, you wicked as hell. You open to all types of judgment, man. Poisoning, being shot, bitten by serpents, wild beasts. Who knows? You know, so hey, once I find out that the Most High does the killing and shit ain't random, like I say, it ain't all that you know, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Once I found out that ain't the case, I said, oh yeah, I gotta serve this power, man. And matter of fact, I gotta stay serving him. I gotta stay serving Yahweh while Yahweh shot. You know, because we all worthy of death, man. All worthy of death. We all broke the law. No, and if you break one sin, you're guilty of them all. So hey, you can't be proud, man, because you know, the most I can just pull your ticket. You can just pull your ticket at any given moment. That's what Isaiah 13:9. It's Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. So yeah, he's gonna come cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger on this day he has set aside for this place known as America, man, Babylon. This is gonna be the ultimate cut up day, man. He's gonna get down, to put it in layman's terms, man. He says, and he shall destroy the sinners that are out of it. Yeah, he's gonna destroy you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are listed on this sign right here. You're the only ones who could sin. So he's gonna destroy you and the heathens, man. You know, I believe it's in Isaiah, I forget which verse, which chapter, where it talk about how he likens the people to rams and goats, man, or lambs and goats, like, you know, and you guys are gonna be the sacrifice. You're gonna be that sacrifice. It's gonna be an ultimate sacrifice too, man. Because the Israelites are known, the Yahweh Shah likes to liken you to sheep. He likes to liken you to sheep. So you're like a ultimate lamb, sacrifice when these missiles hit, man. This is what this verse is talking about. The nuclear ICBM, the thermonuclear ICBM missiles. It says, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof. Yeah, he's gonna lay this land desolate, man. From the north to the south, to the east to the west, and everything in between. It's gonna be nothing left, nothing standing. Like Edris asked, man. He was asking the Most High, because Edris, he saw all this being nuked. He saw all of America being nuked, and he was asking the Most High. He was like, "What's the was you mad at the rivers? Were you mad at the grass, or something like that to that effect?" He was asking, like, what did the rivers do? What did the trees do? You know, that's how much fierce anger the Most High is gonna unleash on this place, man, during this World War III. Edris couldn't wrap his mind around the destruction that he saw. In the vision, man. He just saw everything being wiped out, annihilated, man. Burned to a crisp. And Jake's still playing games, man. I don't want to. And Jake's still out here playing games, man. Jake is still trying to get a leg up in Esau society, man. Don't you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans understand the game is rigged, man? Number one, you got the curses on you. So that always keeps you down no matter what. You already got a leg down. You got one leg down as it is with the curses. And then on that other hand, the game is rigged. The game is rigged for you to be a slave, man. Now you're just an employee, which is nothing but another term for a slave. You know, the resources are controlled. You know, you're only allowed to go so far in this place. Now, if you're willing to do something strange for some change, now if you gotta, or put it like this, if you're very marketable to the so-called white man, where you can make him lots of money, and you can move up. You know, you can dribble a basketball real good. You know, you can run fast and catch or throw a ball or something like that. You know, you can sing, dance. You know, and you can influence the people. Then Esau Edom, he can use you, man. You know, he'll let you get that 2, 3, 4, $5 billion or whatever. You know, but you always gotta keep in mind though, he can take all that shit away from you just like that, man. You always on a short leash with him, man. You can't get out of pocket. You know, any day you rubbing wrong, man. And your ass will be back at your grandmama house, man, on the couch. You know, you be all in the press. You know, you the worst piece of garbage, man, that ever existed. You know, so you got to be mindful of that. But you so-called Negroes, especially so-called Negroes, you know, you start thinking, oh, I'm on the same level as a white man, you know? You know? Them white folks like me. That's what a nigga say, man. You know, a nigga love to say that. You know, they don't treat me like that, you know? You know, but let you try to do your own thing, you know. You want to start making all the money and the profit, you know? Or you niggas want to get your own stadiums. See how much he like your ass then, man. You know? Try to cut the so-called white man out the deal and see what happened to you, man. You know? See if you won't have your ass with Diddy playing basketball in prison, man. You know, he'll go find some old skank from 40 years ago, man, saying you raped her, you know, killed a cat, you raped her, you know, you pimped her out or something. And next thing you know, man, you in court with your head down, man. Like, damn, you know, you got hit with 20 with an L, man. You know, so don't ever think you're on the level or that the so-called white man is putting you on a level to where he can't take you down, man. I don't give a damn how much money you got. You know? You know, you can just ask Puffy, man. You know, he thought he was untouchable. But his ass went and filed that lawsuit against that liquor company, and shit got real for him, man. You know, they said, look here, we know how to fix a nigga, man. You know, you want to get uppity, we're gonna put your ass in prison. And his ass in prison as we speak. But that's good for y'all though, man. Because we come out here week in, week out. We're on YouTube doing the videos, telling you, hey, this man is the damn devil, man. He don't play fair, you know? He rigs the game. lies to your face, tell you lies within lies. And we tell you, oh, if you want to get that money that he got, you want to be at 100 mil, billion, whatever. Hey, you got to do this, that, and the third to get that. And you dumb niggas still go up there anyway, man. So fuck y'all, man. You know, just so you can go rap. But you won't make that sacrifice to do this work though. You know? And none of you niggas are doing anything different, man. When they look at you, all y'all got to go get the same shit, same old stupid chains. You got a photo with a gar or a blunt hanging out your mouth. You're taking a picture with a gun. It's just the same stupid shit, you know? Or you done bought a car. You done bought your Rolls or something. You hanging out there. It's like this shit's been done before, man. This shit's been done. But hey, man, you choose this world, and the Most High, hey, he is a jealous power. He's a very jealous power. And you worshiping another God, which is whether it's money, your father the devil, or your woman, hey man, Most High, he's always thinking about vengeance, man. Hey, matter of fact, I read it again. I believe that was in Sirach 12. Sirach 12 and 6. It says, "For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly." So the Most High is all about vengeance, man. He don't mind pulling up on you, man. He don't mind coming, getting back at you, man. Hey, scripture say, the Lord say, the vengeance is mine, man. I mean, he's all about, he all about putting that work in. He's all about putting you to death, making you suffer. Because hey, when it comes to the ungodly, it's all open season. It's open season on the 2/3 of the nation Israel, man. So you got to get serious, man, before it's too late. There go Jake now with a damn ladder on top of the damn shit. That's all Jake know how to do, man, is ride around town with a damn ladder on the damn roof. I never seen so many fucking ladders in my life, man. But that's all they want to do, man. They want to climb a roof and pull a damn tape measure out. So the Lord ain't looking for that, man. He ain't looking for men who just want to be servants all their damn life, man. For Esau Edom, man. He want men to serve him. He ain't looking for you to be a servant for the so-called white man. You want to clean, you want to do construction, you want to fucking mow the lawn, clean the house. Most are like, hell no. Now, if you're doing that, you got to do that to get by. I understand. But our people, majority of them, that's all they want to do, though. They can't see themselves being great, man. They can't see themselves having somebody else clean their damn yard or their lawn for them, man. They just always want to serve so-called white men, you know? They can't see themselves. They can't see the so-called white man serving them, man. Or your ass gonna see it soon, man. Because these tables about to flip. You know? These tables getting ready to flip. Whether you want to or not. You know, the Lord is getting ready to set shit right, man. You know, and we can't wait on the 2/3 of the nation of Israel to get their shit together. This show must go on. Prophecies must be fulfilled. Prophecies must be fulfilled, man. And the 2/3, if it was up to y'all, will be here forever. You know, you have it's called the so-called Latinos or so-called Mexicans. You have the so-called Latino tribe, man, still trying to open a damn taco shop, still trying to climb a roof, you know? And so-called Negroes instead of be trying to fucking run up and down the basketball court or catch a damn football, man, for eternity. You know, or they want to be a supervisor. You know, a nigga love want to be a supervisor. I want to move up, be a manager. Fucking niggas crazy, man. You know, one day I want to be a manager, supervisor. You know, So that's why the Lord ain't waiting on y'all to get y'all shit together, man. We rolling without y'all, man. You know, like I said, Lord willing, I'm of that number. We rolling with or without Jake. We rolling with or without Jake, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1. It says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Matter of fact, let's go down. Verse 6. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 6. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. Now this is Jake. Verse 7. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, yet we have gone through deserts where they lay no way. But as the way for the Most High, we have not known it. Yeah, you have not known the ways of the Most High, man. In fact, you have cast it behind your back, man. You know, you just boiled up, you know, that's how you boil up a piece of paper and just throw it in the trash. You know, you just don't even look, just try to throw it in the trash can. That's what our people done, man, to this truth, man. You know, they dare not to pick up the Bible no more, man. You know, first thing they say, oh, this is a white man book. White man wrote it, you know? But why would a white man condemn himself in this Bible, man? Why would the so-called white man talk about himself like a dog in his Bible if he wrote it? You know? And I digress from now. Let's go on. Verse 8, what have pride profited us, or what good hath riches without vaunting brought us? Verse 9. No, let's stop at verse 8. It says, what have pride profited us? What good hath riches without vaunting brought us? So yeah, pride has brought you nothing, Jake. But having you being disconnected from your power, man. You know, I was watching some YouTube short or something for LeBron. You know, he just running up and down the court, hitting his threes. You know, just a proud ass nigga, man. Proud to shoot a basketball. And, you know, he just got this proud, smug look on his face, man. And what has that brought him? Nothing but being a nigga with a basketball, man. You know, he still had to bow down to the tiny hats, man, in order to elevate his career. Even though he got all this talent, he could dunk a ball and he can do this, that, and the third on the court. He still had to bow down and kiss the hand of the so-called white, you know. And it don't stop there. You got to get down. You got to go even farther, man. You got to do something strange with some change, you know. All because you want to run up and down the basketball court, man. So what has that profited you? Nothing. Yeah, you got some, you know, you can buy you a little house or something, buy you some cars or some shit. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna bail you out, man. When this day of wrath that's coming with both cruel, fierce, and anger, man. You know, your mansion is not gonna be able to save you from the nuclear destruction. You know, you can't outrun thermonuclear ICBM missile in your Porsche 911, man. You know, your 911 is not quicker than a hypersonic missile. You know, so you tribes gonna find out the hard way. You know, that's the only way Jake likes to learn is the hard way. But you're gonna get your wish though. And you can't say I didn't warn you though. That's all I'm doing, you know. I'm doing my part, giving you the warning, letting you know your day's almost up of being a wicked, grimy ass Israelite. Your days are numbered, you know? That's all I'm saying. So I come out here to give the warning, to blow the trumpet, tell you about the impending doom and what you need to do to get right. And if you don't hear that, like they say, I don't know what to tell you then. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to fucking tell you, bro. You know, so hey, so why do y'all about Shimmy Al Shava allowing me to come out here again on another Friday, man? Who knows? Hey, might not be long, man. I might have to regroup and relocate if there's a virus kickoff, man. You know, I might not be able to stand around here. I might have to go find me another spot, maybe at a park or something, or do a lesson in the car. Only time will tell, you know. And the Most High gave me 2 snacks today. Walk by, you know, a little brown snack and a little red snack. Add it to the list, you know. So why y'all about you outside for that? You know. So like I said, hey, that's a wrap, man. It's over with for the day. So Lord willing, I'll be out here next week. Before I get out of here, we give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Shalom.